Kathianne Lewis, and it's time for a faith lift. And this particular faith lift is about fear. Because someone wrote into me and said, fear is false evidence appearing real. But how do we know the difference between false evidence and real evidence? Well, I used to use that phrase myself a long time ago, but I don't so much anymore. Because what I've discovered is that what makes me fearful is the thoughts I have about a thing, not the thing itself. And that sometimes it's really good to have some fear. For instance, if my car broke down and I had to go across the freeway because over there I saw a gas station that someone might be able to help me, and I'm afraid to cross that freeway, well, guess what? That's a good thought, because cars go faster than I can run. And it would be sensible for me to be afraid. If I thought about walking down railroad tracks, fear's not a bad thing. Fear's not a bad thing. If I start to cross the street and somebody comes around the corner really fast and my heart starts pumping and I get adrenaline going and I go, that's fear. But that's a good thing. It gives me the energy to get out of the way. Fear's not bad. But when we're fearful of things that don't really have that much power to hurt us, then it can be crippling. So the evidence is just the evidence. The evidence is just the evidence. If you see somebody talking to someone else, that's just evidence. But if you become afraid that they're talking about you, then that's your thought about them talking. If you hear that there's going to be layoffs in your company, that's evidence. There may be layoffs in your company. But if you think, well, it'll have to be me, then that thought is what would cause the fear. Not only that it's probably me and I'll never get another job, that thought is what causes the fear. If you have the thought, okay, they're going to lay off people, it's going to be me, I'm not going to get another job, and I'll be homeless, that thought process causes the fear. Now, what I love to do is to really go into the fear and ask myself, what am I telling myself? And here's the spiritual viewpoint. There, you could do a lot of psychological stuff, honest. I mean, there's a lot of ways to block fear by canceling a thought. I mean, we could get a whole lot of mental stuff going on. It's not bad. But faith is a spiritual muscle. So the way that I would look at this idea is go into the fear, what am I telling myself, and get down to the root belief that's causing fear to break out. And I'd ask myself, is this true of God? And if it's not true of God, it's not true of me. If I have a fear that I'll be destitute, then I have to have the discipline to stop and to breathe and to say, is God destitute? No. And if God's life is my life, and God's not destitute, I'm not going to be destitute. And that gives us faith in God, faith in God showing up to provide for us. Jehovah Jireh, God is my provision. And then we can face the evidence and not be debilitated by it. And I think that's the way that we move from fear into a greater sense of faith. And that's what we really want to do. So perhaps evidence is not false evidence appearing real. Perhaps evidence is asking us to go beyond our fear into that deep sense of our connection with God. And maybe it's a call to build our faith. Now think on that. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer, here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. Where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me. As me, oh, oh, do-do-do-do, oh, oh, yeah. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move.